right, we are making a cute little polar bear picture, and we are inspired by the artist Henri Rousseau. He didn't make polar bears, but he did make a lot of animals in his pictures. So we're going to start by drawing the curve for the polar bear's head. And just start at the bottom here and go up and back down. There's really no wrong way to do it. I would suggest working with pencil. I'm using permanent marker because that shows up better on the video. I'm making 2 bumps for his paws, and then 2 little curves for his ears, smaller curves inside of that, and then a circle or a curve for the mouth, nose, and the mouth. And then 2 little circles for the eyes. Okay, and then I'm gonna trace over that with black crayon. And this will help keep the paint from getting on the parts of the picture where we don't want it to go. So Henri Rousseau was born in 1844 in Laval, France, and he died in 1910. And one of his famous artworks was called Exotic Landscape, and it had a lot of animals in the picture. I think that one was mostly monkeys. He did a lot of jungle pictures, and he was a folk artist. That means that he taught himself how to do his art. He didn't go to art school or art college. And so he used his imagination for a lot of his work. He didn't actually go to the jungle. He went to the botanical gardens near his home, and he also went to the zoo. Alright, so I just want to go around the edge of the polar bear. And then we can paint in the sky. So I use the blue and purple and red because blue and red, when you mix them together, are supposed to make a nice purple color. So those are the colors. I'm just going to use my regular tempera. Okay, and I'm going to get my brush out of the water just by moving it along the inside of the cup. Remember, no tapping. And maybe this time I'll do red at the bottom. See how that turns out. I was wondering the red against the white might look kind of nice. So I'm going to go, just get the brush or the paint on the end of the brush. You don't need to get the paint all the way up through all the bristles and then up to the very, silver part of the brush called the ferrule. We don't need that much. So just getting a little bit paint on the end of our brush. And I don't need to press hard either with my paintbrush, always working gently. And since I'm not switching colors, I don't have to keep getting more water on my brush. I'm just sticking with the red right now for outlining around my polar bear. And just gently going around all the black lines. Probably if you left a little bit of white in between, it would be fine too. Okay, so I want to get to the edges of my paper with my red paint. So I'm going to put another piece of paper underneath. So a scrap paper. That way I can get right up to the edges. If you're working at an art table at school, usually we don't have to cover up the table with a piece of scrap paper. We can just, getting a little bit of paint on the table is usually not a big deal. We can usually just wipe that up. But if you're working at home, like I am today, you probably don't have a nice, quick, clean surface like you do at school. The school tables are easy to clean. The coffee table at home, probably not so much. So I'm gonna cover up your surfaces if you're painting right up to the edge. Sometimes I don't even go right up to the edge. I'll just leave like a little space like that. But for this one, we're going to go right up to the edge. Okay, and if my paint's not real watery, it'll probably dry pretty quickly. So I decided to do the purple in between the blue and the red. So I'm going to clean out my brush because now I want to switch colors. Move my brush along the inside of the cup. And now I'm ready to get some purple. So why is my purple coming out so light right now? Could be that I have a lot of water in my brush. Could be that it's a washable kind of purple paint. And sometimes whatever they use to thicken the paint to make it washable, whatever additive they use might make your paints come out a little bit thinner than what you want. So I'm going back over it, and I'm not getting so much water in my brush. And again, I'm painting right out to the ends of the paper. And I would like this to look a little more blended here at where the two come together. So I might actually add some more water along that edge. Just wanted that to look a little bit smoother. And again, I don't need to press hard with my brush. Okay, and then my last spot, the top there, I'm going to use blue. So I want to clean out my brush again real good. Move my brush along the inside of the cup. And I can get my blue paint. And again, a little more watery than what I had expected, so I'm just going to go back in without wetting my paintbrush, because going back into the same color again. So if you have a piece of newspaper or an old brown bag or something, old scrap paper that you can put underneath your art to help protect the tables, those are some ideas. Okay, so there's my colors for my sky. And then I'm going to add some white. So I do need to clean up my brush well. I think now I can remove my bottom sheet. And I'm going to add the white right to the paper. And probably one little dab like that will be plenty. So cleaning up my brush well, moving it along the inside of the cup. And then just working gently with my white. And dabbing it all over my paper for my snowflakes. So this is all just tempera paint, white liquid tempera, right on top of the other colors. My blue's probably still drying a bit underneath there. And then whatever I had left in my top of my paper with my white, I just turned that into the moon. So I do like the red at the bottom too. I think that's cute. Either way is fine. Red in the sky. Okay, and I'm going to take my leftover here and just turn that into a little moon. All right, and good luck with yours. I hope it turns out just fabulous for you.